Dennis Scott was born in Jamaica in 1939. He was a poet, a playwright, an actor, director, a dancer, teacher. His other poetry collections include Uncle Time, Dreadwalk, and Strategies. Dennis died at the early age of 51 in 1991. His collection After Image was published by Peepal Press in 2008. I'm reading a poem from it called Open. Today, work waiting, I make poems. But the room's too small to turn words in. On an impulse of rain, open the windows, hoping this itch and dry of images will change. I rearrange desk to the air, shifting my chair. And suddenly, the eye examines wet leaves, penciling their fragile paper weight on the lawn's green table. Fluent lizards writing their sentences of joy. A green bud stamp posted on twigs, a mailbox, red flowers effortless fall down. It's a new house I live from, suddenly guessed. I rest often, not writing between the winds, idle, familiarizing trees as worn as dictionaries, learning still the phonemes of a bird's trill. Never knew such world or such dimension possible, as poems woven from simple things, changed in their weaving myself. It's all there, all. Next time, I shan't wait for the rain to fall. Dennis Scott. I'm reading from Recantations by Loretta Collins Clover, which was issued by Peepal Press in 2018. It's a poem called Muse. She always walks at the threshold of shadows, under the awnings of the locked car lot, through floodlights of the war monument, past clacking pool tables of confetti drink confetti, and the unlit storefront of Iglesia El Cielo de Fuego, late, under rain, through night into day. In the heat, she walks by El Cuartel de Policia, near botanicas and kioscos of Plaza Mercado, treading through demolished ruins of Roxy Hotel, which once kept a carousel pony at its doorway. White hair worn to her shoulders, a grim schoolgirl face, and the decade in the same clothes, an embroidered vest and jean skirt, street dingy, pockets filled, like the children who pack pockets with rice for pigeons in the Plaza de Armas, or like my father who plugged his pockets with nuts when my self-starved mother no longer ate meals. This woman fills up her pockets with nubs, the last morsel of pencils. As she walks, she writes, a notebook always in hand. Untie me, say the tennis shoes dangling over high wires. From a tu nombre en mis paredes, utters a boarded-up bank. It's your unlucky day, cries a lotto ticket booth. She walks and she writes. Always, I wanted to know what station she was tuned to, what she was observing, which frequencies of dawn and casualties of dusk, memories of family lost, chance happenings, or confessions filled her book. One day in El Paseo, I almost collided with her. She held her notebook open like a preacher holds a Bible, and I saw the pages. Many times and in many styles, I had imagined her handwriting, constricted cursive, shaky print, or slanting loops. The pages were shiny slick with lead, written on over and over again, until letters merged into a solid sea of pencil gloss. Not one word decipherable. Let me read for you today from my new work in progress, a manuscript tentatively titled Belmont Portfolio. And one of the poems from the sequence I'm working on is called Belmont Circular Vernacular. And the poems came from some photographs I took when I lived in Belmont during Carifesta in 2019 in Trinidad, and wrote the poems out of the photographs I had taken. They don't believe anymore. They have abandoned joy in the dancing line, the amazing image, teasing metaphor, workshop camaraderie, shavings off the chisel, jam sessions in a small band room, smell of wet canvas, actors and dancers all over each other. Gone busy in the world, trying to catch their big names, no change to spare, time somehow impossible, become strangers to kindness, generosity, thankfulness, foreigners to their first neighborhoods, the city's first pleasant suburbs, blue street signs, winding alleys, intricate fretwork designs over open verandas, tin mailboxes on gates or walls, prayer flags in the gardens, multicolored galvanized barricades. Now the houses age like lonely parents, rusting roofs, broken jalousies, walls cracked like an earthquake pass, next to younger nondescript blocks of concrete apartments, groceries, restaurants, fortified with burglar bars and their forbidding character. But it's the same everywhere in these islands. Pushed down with death, despair, and indifference, divided among parties of pride. Do streets, suburbs, cities lose their joy? Like artistes fixed on billboards, like critical hands of writers, like vain coteries of painters? Do they forget the first loves, strolling from the first red gates near the yellow hydrants, the first pan runs somewhere on Jerningham Street, young Shadow and Rudder with their first lyrics down the Belmont Lane? Forgotten the innocent vows in the old stone church, the first drums of the first Africans in Freetown? I suppose. But walking with my visitor's apprehensions past this worn house, its satellite dish, its cracked wall, I raise my eyes to the spire tip of Margaret of Antioch Anglican. And from a room in the house, listen, a girl with a nice voice singing with Kester band. If you're coming down from the mountain, oh God, oh, when the rhythm beat is in town, see me jumping on the savannah grass, the savannah grass. And the joy that is, the sacramental grace that always is, lifts the house of I to embrace with surging heart Belmont's circular vernacular.